Well, hey folks, welcome to this update video 2018 of the best belt knives for under 50 bucks. Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another episode here at Gideon's Tactical. I am your host, Aaron. Now, I want to do an update for this concept. We did an original video about 3 years ago on best belt knives for under $50. And I want to make sure to lay out for you the concept of a belt knife first off before we dive into these products and these blades. A belt knife to me is something that you're going to carry obviously on your belt. It's a compact fixed blade. It's not a full-size survival knife and it's not a full-size machete or chopper. It's something that is either a companion blade that you will pair with either an axe or a machete, or something that you can use for most tasks, but may not be quite large enough to be a quote-unquote survival knife. So knives that usually fall into a blade length of between 4 and about 6 inches max, usually on the lighter weight end and thinner blade stock usually. So trying to get between maybe, let's say, 6 ounces and something around 10 ounces. More than that, and it starts to become a survival knife and kind of be heavy, and you may not carry it all the time. And that this can be also like attached to a shoulder pad, possibly of a backpack, and it's just something that you can take with you all the time, everywhere you go. Big survival knives that are thick and heavy, or big machetes and choppers, they're not necessarily always the best tool for the situation, and you may leave them at home when you're out doing maybe a light day hike, an adventure. This belt knife idea is something that goes with you everywhere when you're in the outdoors. And the reason I'm wanting to do this update video is because I've seen on the market in the last couple of years a couple knives that have trumped my original list that I think are better than some of the knives that I originally recommended to you, and knives that have come onto the market that just weren't around then that I think would be awesome when you're on a really tight budget. Now, we're gonna have links in the description below over to Amazon and Blade HQ. It really helps us out when you guys use those hyperlinks. So throughout this video, if one of these knives stands out to you, just hop down in the description, click that link over to Amazon, it'll take you there. Click it to Blade HQ, it'll take you there, and you can check all these out. These blades fluctuate around the $50 price point. Sometimes you can get them for a steal and way cheaper. Sometimes they'll go a little bit higher for a little while. So they fluctuate and they float around, but right in that $50 or less range, these are the knives for 2018 that I want to update you with that are perfect for belt carry and the belt carry idea of making sure to have a compact fixed blade with you when you're out enjoying your adventures. All right, we're going to start this video off with a blade that you were probably not expecting and is new to our list of best belt knives under 50 bucks. It's the CRKT Humdinger. Now, I bought this a while ago and was really not expecting a lot. I think I paid like $48 for it, or something like that. Amazon, Blade HQ, links below. And, I was like, yeah, the design is really cool, but is it really going to hold up, for that price point and, just its design? And it did. I mean, this thing is an awesome belt knife, camp knife. Now, what's cool about this is that it is really aesthetically pleasing, particularly for outdoor use. Really has some good flow to it. Has that nice fuller in here, a high flat grind. It's going to have a continuous sweep, 6-inch blade. So this is one of the larger of the blades. It is the largest blade that we're going to be looking at today, and normally that would be like max size for me. I don't want to go any bigger than that, but it's benefited by its weight. It only comes in at about 9.5 ounces plus the sheath, so it's rather lightweight. You're not going to really feel it on your belt at all. Has an amazingly ergonomic polypropylene handle. Feels great in cold weather. We did a lot of the testing on this one in cold weather environment. Felt fantastic, so you're not going to feel the cold coming through and penetrating your hand. Full tang about 3/4 of the way, so it's like a 3/4 tang. Right about where my thumb is where the tang stops, but was really solid. Again, great sweep. You don't have to, just because you're on a tight budget doesn't mean that you'd have to sacrifice aesthetics. You don't have to buy the ugliest knife in the whole batch that fell off the ugly tree, hit every branch, fell into a grave, got buried with a dead body, and then, was pulled up and exhumed, and hey, here's your $45 knife. You don't always have to do that. This is a really, not only good looking blade, but really good performer. Again, just the size of it, the balance of it, the continuous sweep. It's going to be a great camp knife around the campsite for food prep, that type of thing. It's a little stout at 0.18, but again, just the balance makes up for that. The high grind makes up for it, and the edge geometry just really worked well for me. It is made out of 65 MN steel. It's made in China. 65 MN, I've used it on several knives, haven't had any issues with it. It's lower Rockwell, like 50 to 55, and some people are like, oh, that means it's going to dull right away. Actually, it held a pretty decent edge. Is it, SE 1095? No, but it's good, and it's really easy to get a good edge back on it, and for the price that you're paying, you're getting a high carbon steel blade with a good coating on it so that it, you know, that's a lot of use. We did a lot of batoning stuff. Really worked well. In the sheath, ambidextrous, got a lot of attachment options and a good polymer. I mean, they really thought through that. It's for, again, the price of under 50 bucks, very well done and will last you quite a while. It's not some junko, you know, nylon that you have to go get a sheath right away for. This should last you quite a while, and it should ride in many different formats, ambidextrous, and be really usable for quite a while without any sort of upgrading on the knife. That's the worst thing, is when you get that $45 knife, but the sheath is junk and you have to spend another $45 to get a custom leather or Kydex sheath. I don't think you have to do that with this design. And I believe that you would be really happy with this purchase, again, as that belt knife, not a survival knife. You have a big chopper, you have a big axe, you know, for all that heavy work, but all of your finer food prep, carving, whittling, that type of stuff, feather stick making, you'd be really happy with this. Does not have a 90-degree spine. You would have to modify that, but that's not a huge downer for me. Really cool blade and absolutely makes the list. All right, next up, the Schrade SCHF42D is my fave. There is the just 42, which has the massive recurve on it. This was in our original list. It still is. For about $45, you're getting a Taiwanese made, full tang construction, great belt knife. I mean, this is the epitome of like what you look for in a belt knife. You got full tang, which is an added bonus. It's going to come in again about 9 ounces, very similar to the CRKT. You're looking at about a 5-inch blade length. Again, about 0.18, so you know, 3/16 of an inch thick. This will have a 90-degree spine on it. Great coating. 1095 steel. This does have like a glass reinforced nylon handle scales that are pretty slick. Some people like to upgrade them. They're very doable. But at $45, you know, the lines are not perfectly matched. You may want to just kind of do some light sanding with these. There's lots of different stuff you can do, you know, skateboard tape, duct tape. I mean, all kinds of different stuff that you may want to do. Racquetball, you know, tape. Good jimping right there. Full flat grind. So it is going to be great for slicing in particular, light batoning, no sort of chopping or hacking, not going to happen. But that 1095, even though it's Taiwanese made, it's going to hold a really good edge for 1095 steel and for the price point. It is easy to work with. You can put a nice edge on it. It is, you know, with that thicker spine, a little bit of a fatter edge. So over time you can work that out and get a really nice shaving sharp edge with this blade. But really happy with the design, and, you know, is basically like a budget friendly version in similar lines, if you will, to like a lot of, say, like the SE4 HM and a lot of other great knives that are out there. You just don't have to pay an arm and a leg to do it, and you're going to get a great knife. You get this nice leather sheath that has lasted me quite a while, and again, no real need to upgrade. I mean, unless you want Kydex, this thing works great, rides right there on your belt, less than 10 ounces, and is going to be that full tang construction that you may be looking for that belt knife use, and you'll be able to do a lot of work, and because it's full tang and with those handle scales, it's going to be very tough and durable. All right, up, eliminating the old Mora Bushcraft Black that I had in my last list is the Mora Cans Bowl. Love this thing. $35 for this basic setup with this basic sheath, and then $50 for their more updated, or not updated, but more lashing option MOLLE compatible sheath. That is an option that's out there for about $45 to $50. But I mean, man, for 30 bucks, you're getting an awesome Sandvik 12C27 steel, which is good, and this is a stainless steel, so it'll be rust resistant compared to a lot of the other ones that we're looking at here in this price range and design range. It is a partial tang that's going to come again about 3/4, right about where my thumb's at. You're going to get that lanyard hole, mind-blowing ergonomics. I mean, the ergonomics are the best on the table that we're gonna, or the grass that we're looking at today. The ergonomics fill out my large size hands so well. You can literally hold them in every direction, this knife, for hours without any sort of fatiguing of your hand, which is a major plus. 90-degree spine, a little bit over a 4-inch blade. It starts out with a Scandi grind back here and kind of goes into a modified flat. Not my favorite grind in the whole wide world with this transition, but it works fantastically well. It will be the best bushcraft carving, slicing, notching knife that we look at today. The grind, the ultra thin blade at like 0.11 It is a precision tool. It's like a scalpel on your belt and weighs in at like 3.8 ounces, lighter than a lot of pocket knives. So you're getting the full tang capability, or not the full tang, excuse me, but the fixed blade capability without any moving parts of the Cans Bowl, but you're getting it at like the weight of a pocket knife. So, I mean, it's just mind-boggling. Ambidextrous sheath now compared to old models of Mora that would be only one directional. They have really nice little belt attachment now. Just a lot of upgraded stuff for about $30. And then again, if you want more lashing options and, you know, MOLLE compatibility, then you can go for about $50 and spring for their upgraded sheath option. But awesome setup, and the best bushcraft knife we're going to look at today, and a great precision tool when you're out there and you want that belt knife size and weight class. All right, so we hopped out of the sun there a little bit. The sun was creeping in on the shot, so we moved ourselves slightly. So I got to tell you guys, with this one, I was really kind of back and forth on whether or not I should add it. But at the end of the day, it's so different, unique, and so capable. I said, you know what? For under $50, it absolutely falls into this category of best belt knives under $50, in my opinion. We're looking at the Cold Steel Drop Forged Hunter. Now, what makes this different is that it's one piece of drop forged steel. All these other ones, even though this is, you know, like one piece of steel, it has holes milled into it, you know, different things like that, that you could argue possibly fatigue it in different ways. If you're just looking for like literally the most bomb-proof, you know, strongest knife you've ever seen in your life, in this size range of being a belt knife, I think you're going to be hard-pressed to show me one that can do this in this size range, and when we talk about strength. And what's awesome with this cold steel blade is that you can sometimes pick these up. I paid this $35 for this one. You know, they're usually around $40 to $45. So again, fitting right in that price point. 4-inch cutting edge, large leaf shaped blade. Really dig that aspect. The other major bonus is that this comes with 52-100 steel. That is a premium high carbon steel, and they rock well at 59 to 60, I believe, or even 61. So it holds an edge. Arguably the best of all, easily the best of all of these that we're looking at today. The edge holding capability and the durability is top notch on this blade. There's no handles to worry about getting torn, destroyed, damaged. I just did a paracord wrap. You could carry it without any handle scales on there or handle wrap. I would recommend doing something. I would recommend doing some sort of tape, paracord wrap, something like that. The drawback to this is that it will absorb the heat, absorb the cold, and you're going to probably feel it in your hands. So that's just a drawback to the design. But you're getting a nice polymer sheath that will handle a lot of activity. Again, you don't really have to upgrade it. The one thing to note is this little snap. If you are going to wrap your handle, it's pretty tough. You got to kind of fight with it. You may not use it. You may just want to cut it off. But, you know, you can put this on your belt. It's got a snap and Velcro. It's ambidextrous. Again, that's another kind of key point that I look for in these videos, is like when I'm talking about the best, is this ambidextrous. It's really, the Schrade is the only one, I believe, that is not an ambidextrous. Yeah, that's the only one that's not an ambidextrous sheath. But really awesome. It's going to be pretty heavy, about 9 ounces for the size. It's definitely a little handle heavy. But guys, this thing is just bomb-proof, an amazing belt knife if you're looking for strength. And if you're looking for that strength and that edge retention capability, this thing is awesome and really hard to beat here on the board that we're looking at today. And really has a great aspect, particularly for like a car knife, because in this size range too, you may be just looking for a car knife. You're looking for something compact that'll fit in a glove box. It'll fit in a survival kit that you have under the seat, or maybe in your go bag in the back trunk. And you don't want to spend a lot of money. You want something that's bomb-proof, and you want it pretty compact. Man, it's hard to beat this Cold Steel Drop Forged Hunter, and that's why I'm adding it to the list this year with this update of the best belt knives under $50. Well, last but not least, folks, still loving it, the Gerber Strongarm. Totally dig this knife. I have, I think, 4 of them. I have their limited run that they did of the, I believe it was Sandvik 14C 28N, and I have like 3 other ones that go in our go bags, and then this one that I use sometimes out in the bush and a lot in these videos, because this one was the one that we threw in the gauntlet long ago. Went to like 10 different YouTubers literally trying to break this knife, going through doors, going through 55-gallon oil drums, tearing through car doors and hoods, and we could not break this knife. And when it arrived back to me after about 4 or 5 months, it was just dull and the finish was worn. That was it. Guys, this thing is like bomb-proof. Gerber has outdone themselves. This is going to be the only USA-made tool that we are seeing here today. It is full tang all the way through out to this glass breaker, glass overmold with then a rubberized overmold. So a little bit of a guard there. Saber grind, about 4.75 inches overall, about 0.16 on the, or 0.18 on the thickness, excuse me, 90-degree spine, 420 high carbon, and is a beast. It's a monster. Ambidextrous, like every different way you want to lash it. Sheath, the sheath is amazing. It will be the best sheath on the table as well here. Just so many different options. Love that sheath. Molly compatible, belt carry, however, whatever. Fits my hand really well. A little bit thinner than some of these other guys here. Even the Cans Bowl has a little bit of beef on it. So again, the Cans Bowl is like a great bushcraft knife, but has nowhere near the tactical and or strength capabilities that this Strongarm would. I would argue this Strongarm is almost on the verge of being like a survival knife because of its toughness and durability that we've seen, and relative ease to resharpen that 420. The 420 holds a decent edge. It's by no means mind-blowing. The 52-100 steel will definitely hold a better edge, but it's rather rust resistant compared to other high carbons out there. And again, it's just indestructible from what we found, and is a great kind of do everything knife. It's a jack of all trades knife that you may be looking for. You're like, yep, I need something that's just kind of a do everything. I don't need it to be perfect at any one thing, and I just want it to be freaking amazing. Then the Strongarm is probably the way to go. The rest of these have certain aspects that are great and certain aspects that are really, you know, they're not great. The performance and toughness durability on this cold steel is awesome, but you know, the ergonomics kind of suck, to be real with you, and the sheath is okay. It's good, but it, you know, it's not mind-blowing. It's nowhere near the Gerber or say even the Mora. Then the Mora, it's amazing at bushcraft, not my favorite at food prep, and it's not anywhere near as tough as durable or more you know, tactical feel, if that's something you need, like the Strongarm. The Schrade, great for a lot of food prep, good for woodscraft stuff. The sheath doesn't have a lot of mounting options. The handle is super slick. The CRKT, not full tang, a little bit larger, and doesn't hold an edge quite as well as some of the others here. So, I mean, there's all of them are, you know, like have positives and negatives. This guy, again, I think is just the jack of all trades. I could take it hiking and backpacking. I could take it camping. I could put it on LBE system in a survival kit and love it in every scenario and use it and use it and use it. And I have, and I've purchased and invested tons of money into my Strongarms and use them regularly, recommend them to friends all the time, and they are always so happy with it. So, guys, you hear my rant and rave about all these, but particularly that Strongarm is just, every time I pull it out, I'm like, yeah, the Gerber freaking nailed it, and they need to keep going down that vein of USA made and really thinking through the process, giving serrated plain edge options. Again, guys, links below for all of these knives that we've been talking about today, and I really hope this video has been helping you out and showing you some sweet blades at a really good price point that you can do a lot for you. So there you have it, folks. I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for coming over here today. I hope it's been informative for you, enjoyable and entertaining, and it helped point you in the right direction. Again, thanks for using those hyperlinks that we offer to you below. If you're a current subscriber, thank you for your support. You new people, you may be watching this video for the first time, you never heard of Gideon's Tactical. I invite you to become part of the GT family. We're throwing up videos like this every single week, 2 to 4 videos, and just giving you guys content, ideas, concepts, and helping you to always make a wise decision when you're going out and enjoying the outdoors and going on adventures, regardless if it's around town or out in the wilderness. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook. That's a great way to see what's up and coming, projects I am currently working on. And guys, finally, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.